Good afternoon, students. So yesterday we have done about the electronegativity and some other properties which are related to the periodic table, right? So today we are going to take another topic of the chapter number 3, periodic classification of elements, that is anomalous properties of second period elements, right? So today we are going to discuss about the properties which are related to the second group. Because second group have a mixed variety of elements, so property actually differs. Okay. So the first element of each of group, first lithium, beryllium, and from 13 to 17, that is from boron to fluorine. These are p block elements, differ in many respects from other members of their family, right? Means they just want to say that the head of the family, which is lithium beryllium for S block, boron carbon nitrogen oxygen fluorine for block number 13 to 17, right? So they shows different properties as compared to the other elements of their family, of their group, right? So lithium, for example, lithium unlike other alkali metals and beryllium unlike other alkali earth metals form compound with pronounced covalent form. The other members of these group predominantly form ionic compounds, right? So upper elements जो होते हैं, these elements like lithium and beryllium, these form covalent bond, and the other elements of the group form the ionic bonds, right? They generally exist in ionic state. First point clear, beta? That lithium and beryllium form covalent bond, pronounced covalent bond, but the other elements of these family, they generally exist like ionic compounds. Mean ionic bond is there between the elements of the family members of both of these elements, right? So, in fact, the behavior of lithium and beryllium is more similar with the second element of the following group. For example, they shows the similar behavior to the second element of next group, like magnesium and aluminium respectively. So lithium shows similar behavior like magnesium, beryllium shows similar behavior like aluminium. So these are like a diagonal relationship between these groups, right? So this is known as the diagonal relationship in the periodic property. So somehow they shows the similar properties which are similar to lithium and magnesium, beryllium and aluminum. Right. So now a question raised that what are the reasons for the difference in chemical properties for the first member of the group of elements in the S and P block compared to the subsequent member of the same group? Why there is a difference in properties? So that is difference due to the anomalous behavior is attributed to the smaller size, large charge, radius ratio, and high electronegativity of these elements. So these are the highly reactive elements of their family. The size is small as compared to the other elements. So that is why they shows a different behavior from the other elements of the family. In addition, the first member of the group has only 4 valency orbitals. In this, we have 4 valency orbitals. How? 1s, 2s, and 2p available for bonding. Whereas in second member of the group, we have 9 valency orbitals, 3s, 3p, and 3d. So completely, if we combine the all participating orbitals, so number of orbitals will increase as the atomic size increase because of increasing in the atomic number, the electrons. So that is why the participating shell also increase. So as convenience for this, the maximum covalency of the first member of each group is 4. So boron can only form Bf4, whereas the other member of the group can expand their valency shell to accommodate more than 4 pair of the electrons. For example, aluminium form Lif, that is -3, it's ionic state. Furthermore, the first member of the p block displays the other members of the p block displays greater ability to form p pi bond, multiple bonds to itself, that is carbon carbon. For example, if carbon combines together, so they form with triple bond, three bonds. Nitrogen combine with double bonds and triple bonds. Nitrogen combine with oxygen with double bonds, and sorry, this carbon combine with oxygen with double bond. Carbon combine with nitrogen with double bond, and it can also form the triple bond, right? So there is a difference in the bonding. Multiple bonds can be seen there in the p block elements according to the bonding element. If the element require two electrons, for example, with this here nitrogen bond with three or two, right? So they can form double bond or triple bond is there. But for the conveniency, nitrogen can form triple bond with carbon and double bond with oxygen, right? So there is a, if we compare with the members of the same group, so there is a difference in bonds which are formed between the elements when they form the compound, right? So there is a question, what is that? Are the oxidation state and the covalency of aluminium is AlCl H2O whole 5 plus 2 is the oxidation number there. Same. So what is this? The oxidation state of Al is plus 3. So how plus 3? And the covalency is 6. Okay, the what is the covalency? What is covalency? So I think this thing came in your mind. Okay, we know valency. What is valency? So now what is covalency? So covalency is the number of covalent bond in a particular atom can make with other atom in forming a molecule. Okay, so the number of covalent bonds which are present in a, these are which are formed by a particular atom to form a molecule, that is covalency. So now we will continue to the next topic, the periodic trends and chemical reactivity. So we already observed that there are so many properties, the fundamental properties, that is atomic radii, ionic radii, ionization enthalpy, electron gain enthalpy, and valency. This thing we have discussed already. So on which factor, on what factor these properties are related? So after reading all the properties and their trends, how they affect in when we go along the period, how it's changed when we go down the group, right? So that is due to the electronic configuration. Okay, so that is all the chemical and physical properties are manifestation of electronic configuration of elements. Means physical and chemical properties of the elements depend on the electronic configuration of the elements, right? So the atomic and ionic radii, as we all know this, like generally decrease in a period when we go from left to right. So as frequent, the ionization enthalpy gradually increase. Along the period, what happened? The atomic size, the ionic size, or the atomic radii, along the period, it decreases and the ionization enthalpy will increase. Okay, with some exceptions. Already we have some exceptions there. And electron gain enthalpy become more negative across the period. So how these things vary? जैसे जैसे लेफ्ट टू राइट में क्या होगा, एटॉमिक रेडियाई आपका डिक्रीज होता है along the period. After that, what will happen? Due to this, the ionization enthalpy increases and the electron gain enthalpy become more negative, and the element which has highest electron gain enthalpy is fluorine. So in other words, the ionization enthalpy of the extreme left element in a period is least, and the electron gain enthalpy of the element on the extreme right is highest. So note that noble gas have completely filled shell. They have rather positive gain enthalpy on fill up shell which have rather positive electron gain enthalpy. Okay, so this result into the high chemical reactivity at the two extremes and the lowest in the center. We have highest things at the corners, at the very left corner and at the very right, but we have some difference. Accordingly, we have low properties which are shown by the elements which are present at the center. Thus, the maximum chemical reactivity at extreme left, among alkali metal is exhibited by the loss of electrons leading to the formation of cation, because metals have property to lose electrons, so that is why they form cation. So they have maximum property to lose the electron and form cation. And at the extreme light among halogens showed by gaining of electrons forming an anion, and at the extreme right we have non-metals. They have the property to accept the electron, and whenever they form, they accept the electron and they will form anions. So at extreme right we have the property of anion because they accept the electron. This property can be related with the reducing and oxidizing behavior of the element, which we will discuss later. What is reduction and what is oxidation, we will discuss later. Okay, because of these properties, gaining and losing of electron led to two more properties, which is oxidation and reduction, right? So here it can be directly related to the metallic and non-metallic character of the element. So these properties also can relate to the metallic and non-metallic property as we have discussed earlier. Thus, the metallic character of an element which is highest at the extreme left decrease, and the non-metallic character while moving from left to the right across the period increase. Whenever we go from right to left, the non-metallic character will decrease, and when we go from left to right, the metallic character will decrease. Okay. The chemical reactivity of the element can be best shown by its reaction with oxygen and halogen. So if you want to find out the chemical reactivity, how the chemical actually react, what is the chemical reactivity of the elements, so we can find out if we react them with hydrogen and halogens. Halogens are fluorine family. So hence we shall consider the reaction of the elements with oxygen only. Right. So for example, if we have elements on two extreme of the period earlier combine to form oxides, the normal oxide formed by the elements of extreme left in the most basic means the elements which are present at the left, their oxides are most basic, whereas the that formed by the elements on extreme right is acidic. So there is a difference when we react metals and non-metals, extreme right and extreme left elements with oxygen. What will happen? The metal form basic oxide and the non-metal form acidic oxides. Okay, and some of the elements which are present at the middle of the period, that is carbon, nitrogen, so they form aluminium, they form amphoteric oxides. What are amphoteric oxides? Amphoteric oxides are those oxides which behave as acidic with bases and as a basic with acid. Whenever we react with each other, what will happen? They have the property to change their chemical reactivity. So whereas neutral oxides have non-acidic or basic properties. Means we can't say that we don't have neutral oxide. If we talk about the neutral oxide, what will happen? They do not show acidic property as well as nor basic property. So what we found? We found when we react extreme left element with oxygen, so their oxide is most basic. If we react with right element with the oxygen, their oxides are acidic. And if we react the central atoms which are present like carbon, aluminium, these form amphoteric oxides, which shows different behavior when we react in acids and bases. So and non which are neutral oxide, they don't have any behavior, they do not behave like acid or base whenever we used to react them with something, right? So there's a question. Show by a chemical reaction with water that Na2O is the basic oxide and Cl2O7 is the acidic oxide. N is sodium is metal. So sodium metals are generally basic oxide. So whenever we react this Na2H with H2O, so we will obtain NaOH, sodium hydroxide. Then what will happen if we react this Cl2O7 with water? What will happen? HClO. So HCl is like acidic. So that is why they form acidic oxide. Their basic and acidic oxide can qualitatively tested with litmus paper. If you want to test about the acids and base, what we have to do, we have to test it with litmus paper. If you put means the acidic will change blue to red and the basic will change red to blue. Okay, so among all transitional elements are that d series. Okay, the charge in the atomic radii is much smaller as compared to those of of representative elements. Representatives are elements are those S and P block elements combinedly are known as representative elements across the period. So there is a difference in the size. So as we talk about atomic radii, so these 3D series have the small atomic radii as compared to these S block and P block elements. So the change in the atomic radii is still smaller among inner transition element. So there is small change in the atomic radii of 4F series, that are inner transition series, that is F block elements. So the ionization enthalpy of intermediate between those S and P block. So if we talk about the ionization enthalpy of D block element and F block element, so this will be like intermediate between the S and P. Okay, so as a consequence, there is a less electropositive than first and second metals. If we talk about their electropositivity, so they are less electropositive as compared to the first and second element. Okay, so in a group, the increase in atomic and ionic radii with increase in atomic number gradually, as in a gradual decrease in ionization enthalpy. As we all know that whenever the atomic number increases, what will happen? The atomic radii and the ionic radii will increase. Okay, which led to the decrease in ionization enthalpy and a regular decrease, with exception of some, we have some exceptions also there, in the electron gain enthalpy in the cases of main group elements. So we have so many changes, so many differences in D block elements where we have some exceptions also. Okay, when we'll talk about these whenever we talk about the elements of a particular group. So thus the metallic character increases down the group and the non-metallic character decreases. Okay, what will happen? The metallic character increases down the group whenever we go down the group. So what will happen? The metallic character will increase, but the non-metallic character will decrease. Okay, whenever metallic character increase, the other will also decrease because they are inversely related to each other. So this trend can be related with their reducing and oxidation property, which you will learn later. So this will affect the reduction and oxidation property. Okay, so in the case of the transition element, however, a reverse trend is observed. When we talk about the transition element, so there is a reverse trend, there is some changes which we see, there is some difference which we see in D block elements property. So this can be explained in terms of atomic size and ionization enthalpy. And these changes are there due to the atomic size, because when we go down the group, atomic size increases and the ionization enthalpy decreases. Okay, so today we have done with the chapter. So your homework is to revise all the topics which we have discussed today.